Who do you think had the courage, or maybe the misfortune, to make Krishna truly angry? You know the blue-skinned divinity, always with a playful smile. But beneath that calm surface, there are stories that paint a very different picture. Imagine this: you think you really know someone. Then they show a side that takes you by surprise. Today, we dive into the one burning question that has echoed for centuries. Who managed to draw out Krishna's rage? And why? By the end of this video, you'll see Krishna with new eyes, exploring moments the legends rarely speak about, where anger wasn't just a passing cloud, but a storm with consequences. And if stories like this keep you curious, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an untold legend again. Now, picture the sprawling plains of ancient India. The air is thick with dust, the sun hanging like a watcher above silent armies. In the distance, the faint sound of conch shells signals destiny is at play, the Kurukshetra battlefield. But our story starts much earlier, in royal courts and dark forests, with whispers and warnings, and one man whose arrogance became his downfall. Shishupala, king of Chedi, grew up surrounded by prophecies and fear. There was a moment in his infancy when his mother, Krishna's own aunt, cradled him, and his extra eyes and arms vanished at Krishna's touch. A prophecy hung above them: this child's death will come at the hands of the one he hates most. Mothers, especially royal ones, never ignore prophecies. She begged Krishna for mercy, and her nephew, ever compassionate, promised he would forgive 100 insults from Shishupala before ever lifting a hand against him. Life, though, has a way of testing even the most patient. Years passed. Shishupala grew, not just in age, but in pride and disrespect. He made it almost a sport to taunt Krishna, calling him names, questioning his right to honor. Imagine a busy marketplace. You're trying to get things done, but someone's always heckling you, pushing your buttons, waiting for you to slip. Shishupala's voice echoed through assemblies, sharp and bitter. Who is this coward, playing lord in king's clothing? Krishna, barely flinching, let each insult roll off. 1, 2, 5, 20. At every coronation, sacred event, and festival, Shishupala hurled verbal stones. Those around Krishna would sometimes glance his way, expecting thunder, but Krishna's calm was unwavering. The court would hold its breath, knowing the 100th insult would tip the scales. Think about it. When does teasing become torment? When does silence become an endorsement? Krishna's mind must have been a river, sometimes peaceful, sometimes carrying hidden currents. You can almost sense him counting in his head, every offense logged, patience stretched to its limit, but never snapping until the moment he was pushed too far. The 20th, the 50th, the 99th insult. Still, Krishna waited. But the 100th? That was a day of reckoning. The crowded assembly during Yudhishthir's Rajsuya sacrifice buzzed with energy. Kings from across the land filled the great hall with their jeweled crowns and ambitious hearts. Yudhishthir honored Krishna above all, giving him pride of place. Some nodded approvingly. Others, like Shishupala, simmered with jealousy. Shishupala burst forward, his voice laced with poison. Is this how dharma is kept? By crowning a cowherd as the greatest among kings? Shadows flickered across the faces gathered in the hall. Eyes darted to Krishna, then to the floor, uncertain of what would follow. The air was so tense you could almost taste it. But Shishupala wasn't done. He unleashed his 100th insult, shattering any hope of restraint. In that instant, Krishna's countenance changed. Gone was the gentle smile. His eyes became the color of storm clouds, unwavering, unblinking. For a moment, the world seemed to stand still. A moment later, Krishna summoned his Sudarshana Chakra. Time itself seemed to freeze, every whisper silenced. Shishupala, Krishna's voice rang out, not just heard but felt, I have given you more mercy than any man deserves. Now, you will face the fruit of your words. Then, in the blink of an eye, The chakra sliced through the room, unstoppable, unerring, ending Shishupala's spree of insults forever. The hall erupted in stunned silence. Some gasped in fear, others bowed in reverence. Yudhishthir watched, realizing the dawning of the thin line between forgiveness and justice. Krishna's anger wasn't wild or reckless. It was measured, a force as precise as the chakra itself. But the story doesn't end here. The echoes of this moment ripple through time, offering lessons on patience, choice, and consequence. Why did Krishna forgive so long? How did he contain his anger for that 100th slight? It wasn't just divine restraint, it was a lesson for kings and commoners alike. True power, it turns out, isn't only in might, but in the ability to choose mercy until the very end. Let's step back. How many of us, when taunted or mocked, hold our tempers in check? For 1, 2, maybe 5 times? Krishna endured 100. His patience was vast, but anger, when finally summoned, was unyielding and righteous. It served not only to punish, but to restore balance, to show that every action, even those wrapped in words, carry weight. Some say anger is weakness. Krishna's story turns that notion on its head. Controlled, righteous anger has the strength to draw boundaries, to protect, to hold the mirror to injustice. Shishupala's fate was not just a punishment, but a warning. Disrespect, left unchecked, has a price. And what of Krishna's thoughts in those last moments? Did he pity his cousin, regret the path things had taken? Or was he simply fulfilling the role given to him by fate and promise? Some ancient storytellers say that even as Shishupala fell, a light emerged from his body and merged with Krishna, signifying forgiveness and union at the very end. So who was the first to make Krishna truly angry? It was Shishupala, the king who mistook patience for weakness, whose words became weapons, and whose punishment echoed across centuries as a tale of both mercy and its limits. If you want to see more untold stories of the Mahabharata, watch the next video now.